What's up, y'all? Welcome back for another build guide. Today we're going to be making a Pelican from Halo. This one's another modded build with over 100,000 cargo and 200 crew slots. But before we do that, let's go over the mods you're going to need for this one. Alright, if you want 200 ship crew slots, you're going to need the 200 ship crew slots mod. You're going to need better ship part flips. This lets us flip one of the shroud nose caps that normally can't be. You do not need better ship part snaps. If you do, this is actually going to make part of the build a bit more complicated, but I have mine installed and I go over how to get through it in the video. You're going to need Avontech shipyards. They offer the hoods that we'll be using. Darkstar Astrodynamics. This is where I get my shield, grav drive, and reactor from, so you could swap these out for any other generic devices in the game. But the special thing about the Darkstar stuff is it lets you change the variant of it, which makes it easier shoving it in places it doesn't belong. You're gonna need Deratech for the stairs. These are my favorite stairs added so far, and we'll be using 2 of them. Gonna need Matilda Aerospace. We're actually using 2 Matilda weapons paired with a set of rockets from the base game. Ship pieces unlocked gives me everything at my outpost, so I don't have to run around for parts. And if you're wondering about whether or not you'll be able to afford it, just grab the Unlimited Resources mod, and the boxes inside the lodge always work for me. Your personal safe now has unlimited credits. And that should be it. Alright, as always, we'll start with our landing bay. I'm going to be using the Matilda Aerospace ship bed. Make sure that the bay is open to the aft position. Then we're going to go into Hab and grab a Deratech 2x1 stair. 1x1x2 Deratech stairs. Make sure you've got them facing the 4 position. And then place them on the front here. This landing bay is a bit temperamental, so you'll have to use the flip and cancel trick to get it to stay in place. Once it snaps, flip it until it is facing 4 again, then hit cancel. We're going to grab another one, get it facing aft, and then do the same thing to connect it on top. Then go ahead and grab a 1x1 and we'll place it here. Once it snaps, change the variant, hit cancel. Then if you're on console, highlight this part and press both triggers, then A. And we're going to use that to place a workshop here. And follow that with an armory. Go ahead and grab our reactor while we're here. We'll be using the best Darkstar one available to us. Same for the reactor. We can pull our gear out. We're gonna need Darkstar Tayo and Darkstar Hope rear. Fuel tanks, I'll be using Darkstar Discrete Fuel. Don't believe we need any equipment. Engines. Are gonna be these right here, the SA4X M2 1C. Just go ahead and place those back here for now. Docker is going to be the Avon Tech Docker. Unless we can get the slim one to work. If we can get the slim Docker to work later, we might use that. Cockpit is going to be Dark Star Armstrong. Go ahead and place that on the front. Right here like this. As for cargo, we'll be using some Dark Star discrete cargo. Set that off to the side for now. Weapons are Matilda Aerospace, primarily. Let's get the port dual barrel flak. And then the 360 EMHS turret. And we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom for some vanilla rocket from the base game. These 50K missile launchers right here. Now in structural, we're going to need a couple things like the equipment plate for Tayo crew support if you want this. I believe that's actually the only one you need. We're going to need a Deimos Belly 4. Avon Tech's got updated. They now have some faction panels to put on the side of your ship. Might see if we can fit one of those in later. Next, we're going to need some Avon Tech wings. It's going to be this one right here. And we should need a Avon Tech hood next. And let's get that Deimos cowling and place it on top of the Deratech stairs right here. Grab a Deimos Spine C4. Nova braking engine port. Nova cowling 2LPF. And the 2LTF. Nova wing port. Shroud nose cap B. Shroud engine bracer. Gonna need a Tayo braking engine. Tayo cowling. Grab your Nova cowlings. Bring them over to the ship first. Start with one of those up here. You can get your Dark Star Tayo gear and place it on the side here. Once it snaps, flip, and cancel. Duplicate it, let go of it, then do the same thing on the other side. Grab one of these, let's bring it over. Change the variant of the Nova cowling facing backwards like that, and then we'll place one there, duplicate it, and flip it to put another one here. Since it's close to that bay, we're going to have to bring it out here, let go of it, pick it back up, and then flip and cancel again. This one, you can duplicate it twice to get one to land down there where we want it. Just delete this extra one up here. Let's do the same thing on the other side. We actually want to grab one of these and we'll place it here. Go ahead and grab that Deimos belly. We'll place one right here above the landing bay. And grab another one and place it back here. Take your docker and place it right there. Get another one of these, change the variant. We'll place it here. Take your grav drive and place it in front of the docker. Put the reactor on top of it, then duplicate the reactor several times until you get one to land inside of the grav drive. Once that happens, delete the extra one. Select all, edit, accept. Do the same thing with your discrete fuel. Place it on top, then duplicate and accept, duplicate and accept, just until one lands right there. Delete those, select all, edit, and accept. Now, let's go ahead and get our landing gear in. Take this landing bay, pull it out to the side because it doesn't like to play nice. Move these out of the way for now. Grab this landing gear and place it there. Get another one for the other side. Then put your Nova cowlings back. And then the landing bay. Go ahead and get our Avon Tech hood up here. We want one right here, and then we're going to duplicate that. Put it on top of all your devices right here, and we're going to merge it with them using the same method. Once that's done, we can get another Nova cowling up here on each side. Then you can grab your engines and we'll go ahead and place those back here. These are just different variations of the same engine. All you have to do is hit the split button and it'll change the shape of it. Once you get 4 placed like that, duplicate the top 2. Select all, edit, accept. Let's grab this Stroud engine bracer. We'll place it in front of the Nova cowling on each side. And we want to get another one right here. Grab your Nova braking engine port. Now, if you have additional snaps installed, like I do, this part's going to be a bit more difficult. If you do not have additional snaps installed, you can just slide this into the engine bracer, flip it twice, hit cancel, select all, edit, and accept, and it should line up perfectly with the bracer. But if you have extra snap points installed like I do, you'll have to place it on it, then duplicate it until you get several spread out over here. Then select all, edit, and accept. And now we can delete everything except for the one that's where we want it. Once that one's the last one, you want to make sure there's not two of them in the same spot. Then you can undo that to get it back where it was. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now grab your Tayo braking engine. Actually, instead of the braking engine, let's just pull these Nova cowlings out and we'll place some weapons up here. We are doing EMHS current here. Then we can place this Nova cowling back where it was. And we can do the Tayo engine. Once you get that one in there, make sure that you select all, edit, and accept to get it lined up correctly. It should be on the corner of that Nova cowling. And get another one, make sure that you release it and pick it back up. Do the same thing over here. You want to snap it, flip and cancel. Select all, edit, and accept. Take this Deimos Spine 4. We're going to switch it around a little bit. Get a aft bottom. And then we got to get it all the way under the cockpit like that. Next, we can grab our flak cannons and put that on the front of our Deimos Spine. Just make sure that they're in the 4 position. We'll put 2 more on here. That's what happens if you forget to release it. So I'm going to duplicate this one, release it, and grab it. And now we should be able to flip and cancel. Once your weapons are in there, you can get the Tayo cowling and place it under. Just like that. The Stroud nose cap B here goes on the back. Just like that. Get an aft top version. I believe you need better part flips in order to do this with this one. And we'll take this Nova wing and we'll place it on the outside here. Here's our 200 crew support. We'll place that right there. For the 50K missile, you want to get it as close as you can to the Tayo braking engine. without it snapping in place, and make sure that you are on the starboard fore side of the snap point that you're trying to get it to go to. Just starboard and fore. And what we're going to do is duplicate it, and you see how it jumps in place and it's green. As long as I don't move any of the like the left analog stick, it'll stay green and I can accept. And we want to drag this one over here and do the same thing. And then you can place another one of these on top of that equipment plate if you want to. But I'm going to put a Nova cowling on mine because I think it looks better. For our cargo, let's pull these Nova cowlings here back out. And put our Dark Star discrete cargo right here. And we'll put another one on the other side. If it jumps off like that, just highlight it, edit, and accept, and it should jump back into position. And we're going to replace those Nova cowlings. And come under the bottom so that we can highlight the cargo. And it doesn't really matter which side. You can spread them out evenly if you want to, but just to make it easier, I'm going to duplicate this one side until I get over 100,000 cargo. And once you've got all the cargo you want stuffed in one little spot, you just have to select all, edit, and accept. Now let's grab this Avon Tech wing right here and place it there by changing the variant using my D-pad and then hitting cancel. It jumped out of position, so I'm going to edit and accept. And then we're going to duplicate this several times. Until we get it to kind of sandwich the wing that we've already created here. Just like that. We want to do the same thing on the other side. Now all we need to do is assign our weapons. We're going to be doing the 50K missile launcher as the first one, because if you're on controller, this will be your right trigger, and this is the only weapon that can actually be fired on this one, if you copy the same ones that I have anyways. Feel free to swap these out for manual weapons at any point, though. Now we're going to need a shield. And just grab this one because it's pretty easy to hide under the hood in here. After that, everything should be nominal. If you have any issues, you can select all and then edit and drag the Pelican out of the way to see what is not attached. Make it the right color and then go check it out. You want a dark faded green or whatever color you want your Pelican to be, really. Let's accept that. I don't know if you noticed how it appeared under the plane, so I just under this grid right here. So what I do whenever that happens, I just view another ship, then switch back to the one that I'm in. Then you can make it your home ship. All right, let's check out the one that I've been using and customizing. So normally whenever you enter, this area is going to be empty. I just went ahead and placed a bunch of jump seats and weapon racks, as well as a nav console and a couple weapon cases in here to try and make it look like the inside of the rear of a Pelican. And straight up the stairs, we're already in the cockpit, so it's not very far once you enter. If you turn around and come to the other side, we've got a storage room right here. If you end up with a ladder in here, all you have to do is place a porthole on top of the 1x1, then you can replace your workshop on top of that. And this will force the game to remove the ladder if it has one right here for you.
Everything looks good at my station, Captain.
And if we come to the back, we've got our armory, which is connected to the docker where we'll be deploying for any space needs. Your camera shouldn't be this close whenever you finish building your ship initially, but it may revert back to, I guess, normal after you close and open the game back up. If your camera's too close, all you have to do is edit one thing on the ship. This can be just moving the shield from one spot to another or something like that. And that should fix your camera where it's not so close to the rear end of this Pelican. But I do believe that just about covers it. As usual, I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, please remember to hit those like and sub buttons down below, and I hope to see you here in another one. Later.